morning, welcome back to our channel. Mary Lou here with Ann, and today we're in our kitchen with our Aga and we're going to make yogurt. So Ann's washing her hands, I've washed mine, so we're all ready to do our yogurt. And we have been buying raw milk from a dairy that is really close by to us. And it is the best milk. It's the milk I remember drinking when I was a kid, and it's raw, unpasteurized, and you can actually, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's cream that floats to the top, and we're trying really hard to eat closer to the earth, where we make more of our things from scratch and do it ourselves. We're eating less processed food. So it's a process. So we're not perfect at it, and we do, still eat some things that we probably shouldn't, but we are working on making our own food and getting closer to the earth. So we're gonna use that milk. If you are looking for raw milk in your area, you can go to a website called getrawmilk.com, and you'll put in your zip code and it'll help you find raw milk in your area. We got our supplies from the New England Cheesemaking Supply Company, and they have a website and they're super nice. If you have any questions, you can call and they're really helpful. So we have our raw milk, and then we have a packet of yogurt starter from New England Cheese Supply. And then we got this weird thing that's called a Yogotherm. And that also came from the New England Cheese Supply place. And basically what it is, it's just a big, huge thermos. All the styrofoam parts stay with it. That's not packaging. You keep those there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is pour our milk into the pan. And actually, should we try to skim the cream off the top, or should we just mix it?
Mix it.
Mix it? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. So we have to shake it like this. Okay, Ann. You're gonna pour it in real carefully?
Yeah, can I put it though?
Yeah. So we're going to put the whole 2 quarts into a pot.
That's it?
That's it. All right, now that our milk is in a pot, you see that there, we're going to put that on the simmering plate. So I have a special cheese thermometer because it goes clear down it goes from 0 up to 220. And so it covers all of those in-between temperatures. Some cheeses and things, you've got to have it around 80 degrees. And so you have to have a thermometer that will read low as well as high. So go ahead and open up the simmering plate. Good, all the way. Good. And then we're going to put this on it. And we don't want the milk to boil, because the yogurt will end up thicker and nicer if the milk doesn't boil. And so we're going to use the simmering plate so we can heat it up very slowly and let that be. How often do you eat yogurt?
Once a day.
What's your favorite kind of yogurt?
Lime.
Lime. What were you doing 4 years ago?
Eating yogurt.
You're pretty cute, Ann. Okay, shall we take a look at the milk and see what the temperature is? Okay. So here we are. The simmering plate was heating the milk really slowly, so I switched it over to the boiling plate for a time and kept a very close eye on it. Now I have switched it back to the simmering plate just to come up to 185, and then I'm going to set it on the cold granite and bring it down to 110 as quickly as I can. Okay, let's talk about another way you can do yogurt if you don't have an Aga or you don't have a Yogotherm. The way I used to do it was I would just get the wide mouth quart jars, and I actually made the milk base out of dried milk, and I would mix up enough for 4 jars of yogurt, and then I had a round food dehydrator So I would just start the food dehydrator and set those 4-quart jars on the base of the food dehydrator and cover it with a towel and let it run at like 115 degrees all night. And that's how we used to make yogurt, really easily. So it's kind of fun to try out these other things. And so our yogurt is almost cool enough. So once it hits 110 degrees, we'll let it just sit for 10 minutes. Then we'll add a little packet of the yogurt starter culture and let that sit, and then we'll proceed to holding it at 110 degrees for several hours while it thickens up and sets. So our milk is has been cooled down to 110, and then I held it at 110 on the back of the Aga for 10 minutes. And so now I'm going to go ahead and pour everything into the Yogotherm. So the Yogotherm looks like holds 2 quarts. And then it says to add the packet of the culture. And so the suggestion is to just kind of sprinkle it on top and let it get hydrated, and then we'll stir it in. Okay, our 2 minutes is up, and I can see the culture just sitting there on top. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that in. And we're going to put this on it. Put it down nice and tight. I've put a hot pad down on the warming plate. The warming plate, when we tested it, was 100 degrees. We need to maintain the milk at about 110. The instructions say that we need to hold it there for 6 to 12 hours. So we'll be checking the thickness and seeing if everything has processed and cured. Okay, so the yogurt's finished. It's been in the fridge and set up really well. Somebody's been eating it, as we see, but this is just plain raw sour yogurt. So we make actually a sweetener for the yogurt because we don't want to use sugar. We use a sugar substitute. Anyway, what you can do is just stir in honey, you can stir in sugar, jam, fruit, whatever you want. A lot of people like to stir in a can of sweetened condensed milk, and then we have a special sweetener that we make that doesn't have any sugar in it, but sweetens it up nicely. I will put the whole recipe for the yogurt and our sugar-free sweetener and what we use in the Facebook group file for Coming Home. So go to Facebook and, yes, you may stir. So go to Facebook to Coming Home and go ahead and sign up for the group, and then look under files, and I'll put it in there under yogurt. And then you'll have the whole recipe for how to make the yogurt, plus you'll have my recipe for the sugar-free sweetener, and I'll also list there some of your other options. And then one thing I like about this sweetener, it has a little bit of a thickener in it called xanthan gum, which is actually a natural thickener, and it kind of helps give the yogurt that really thick kind of Greek yogurt sort of consistency. It's delicious. And Anne and I particularly like it when we add a little bit of lime juice and a little bit of lime zest. That's our favorite. But we eat this with blueberries. What else?
And I don't know.
Maybe bananas. Any kind of fruit. It's delicious with peaches, either fresh or canned. You could even add a little bit of jam, just whatever you like, but Anne isn't a fan of that idea.
But do you know? Oh.
Look back at some of our old videos and you'll see us making jam you know. So anyway, this is how we do our yogurt. Be sure to subscribe. There's always something new and crazy coming out at our house, in our kitchen, our craft room, whatever. And subscribe to the channel, invite your friends, and join our Facebook group Coming Home. And we'll see you next time.